What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. I'm your host again, Grandpa Wook, and I'm joined by my co-hosts here today. I've got
Slim Yeti
and
Radiate.
and we are so glad to go back on another side quest with you. And we're gonna make a new friend today, and we're gonna introduce them after the intro. So, without further ado, let's roll.
Pendiente de rozar y dar matraca, traca. Entonces que está esperando, ven y ataca, taca. Pendiente de rozar y dar matraca, traca. Entonces que está esperando, ven y ataca, taca.
All right, welcome back to the Side Quest, everyone. And today we are joined by a new friend of the show, and a newer-ish friend of mine, as of 2025. So, without further ado, welcome Carson to the show.
What's going on, y'all? How we doing?
It's a pleasure to have you, and I would love for you to just give a quick little intro. Obviously, we'll dive a little deeper, but just give a quick intro of who you are and what you do.
Of course. Well, yeah, like Matt said, my name's Carson. Born and raised in Portland, Oregon, actually. Just moved out to Seattle 5 years ago. Went here for university. So, been loving the scene here in Seattle. But I've been dabbling in music most of my teen adult life. I started, producing music when I was, in high school, doing like pop music, singing. If you look up my last name on Spotify, you can go find that. So that's just a little nugget of information. And then, since 2022, 2023, I've kind of been diving into EDM a lot more. And just the last year, I've been DJing and producing around the city-state region. So yeah, just super excited to be here with y'all and talk about all the fun things that revolve around music.
Yeah, excited to have you. As I said, we are like newer friends, but we met playing my first show ever, and
Yeah.
I guess also your first bigger show ever, both at Plur in the Air a year ago, back in 2025. I haven't played a show since. Carson has played many shows since, so you can see different paths. But yeah, it's just awesome to have you here. And yeah, so let's dive a little bit deeper. Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about just like your beginnings. Obviously, you said you're from Portland. We are a Pacific Northwest EDM podcast, so we do cover everything.
Oh, yeah.
Portland, Seattle, Vancouver. If Idaho ever throws a rave, Idaho, right? Montana,
I
even.
think they got a venue there.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Probably, yeah.
Boise is low-key awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
Boise is fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on record and say I love Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's kind of funny being from Portland and being from the Northwest and being like, man, Idaho's like, what's the one thing they got? It's like potatoes. And it's so funny because when you drive to the gorge, you see that Washington actually has the biggest potato producing county in the country. But yeah, no, love the PNW, but
Yeah.
I love Idaho too.
Yeah.
Shout out Idaho.
Shout out Idaho.
my
Shout
Idaho
out
homies.
potatoes.
Shout out potatoes. So what was it like in Portland at the time? Like, were you doing EDM stuff, or you said you started with pop? Like, what kind of
Pop, yeah.
pop and like what influenced that?
Yeah. I guess it was a long journey to just like start making music, but I'd always been inclined and pushed by like, my parents to just try something. Violin didn't work, saxophone didn't work, piano. There's actually a video of me falling asleep at the piano when I was young. So like I didn't have a traditional path to like understand music. I wouldn't say that I'm some savant of understanding musical theory, but like pop music just was cool because I saw like all these other artists that I like Jeremy Zucker. Do you know him?
Oh, yeah,
Jeremy
I
Zucker?
know Jeremy Zucker, yeah.
So Jeremy Zucker was a big inspiration of mine because he would also just produce all his own stuff. Like he would just open Logic and just go ham and kind of like in a Fred Again-esque way, but like more towards that. So I like watched that on YouTube and I saw him a lot, and I had a good friend, Sumner. So Sumner actually signed to Sony Music now. So
Wow.
he is in a band called The Takes. So him and I just like made a bunch of music together. That guy has an incredible voice, super musically inclined family, self-taught guitars.
Oh, wow.
Like they're just. I'm gonna send him this. He's gonna be like, he's amazing. So I was inspired by a couple things, right? Like externally through social media and some people that was around me. I wouldn't say that I have like an angelic voice, but I like kind of figured out how to sing and how to like produce and how to like make myself sound professional, right? So then, I bought like studio equipment. I got you know, like a little tabletop like recording booth and like started singing and like buying beats on YouTube. Literally just like $5 beats and being like, all right, this is sick. And then I go to Spotify and someone else has the exact same beat. But yeah, that was a cool process. And like during COVID, like I was in high school. Like I was a senior in high school. I had so much time. I could do anything I wanted. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to make music. And I was making TikToks at the time too. I was just filling my time. Right. And so, then started making some pop music. It actually got some great traction too. And I had a EP picked up by this like independent label called what is it, 45, which is a subsidiary of, I believe, Sony. I'm not sure, but it was cool. So I just got to like do those motions, and it was inspiring to like see that like have a little bit of like people like resonated with, you know, that kind of music. Even though looking back, it's not my favorite work, but it's like really cool. That's like where it started, you know, trying to sing and try to make pop music.
Yeah, and getting further than I think a lot of people do with that stuff. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pop music. That's like the one like genre that's like hard to break because it's pop music for a reason. Like everyone wants to listen to pop music, so you really have to come up with like the next best thing, you know,
Yeah, something
to make it in there.
different, right?
Some different.
Yeah.
So to be able to break in a little bit is quite incredible.
Did you do any live performing at the time?
No, I mean, gosh, like I don't know if I could. I mean, that's a scary thought, but I mean, the only time I ever like sang in front of more than like my microphone in my room was in college. Like at one time I did a charity event where I sang in front of a few hundred people, but that wasn't even original music. So I never got to like step into that. But also it was COVID, so it wasn't really a time where you would be able to do that anyway. But also, yeah, I mean, I haven't really performed live with my voice. More recently, just DJ decks. And an RMX.
And an RMX.
Yeah.
Totally different, but that's
completely
really
different
cool.
thing. Yeah.
So did you end up finding EDM in high school?
No. No, I mean, gosh, I was illiterate in high school. I didn't know what EDM was. Like, I mean, I watched my sister, she's a few years older than me. I watched her kind of go through the motions in college and like go to Coachella. She went to Coachella and like, I was like, oh, that's cool. But like, I don't know, it didn't resonate with me. I didn't like floor to the floor music really at all. Like I didn't really understand dance music. So no, that came in college.
Nice.
And where'd you go to school? You said here in Seattle.
Yeah, University of Washington.
You
Go
got
Dogs.
okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And you picked it up there from friends, house parties.
Yeah, I mean, a couple different avenues. I mean, I think you have first like the influence around you. I was part of the Greek system, so I got a lot of like EDM, kind of like trashy house music through there, and like kind of understanding like why you need dance music versus like just like pop music or hip hop or like any sort of like different tempo. But like I started realizing when I started dancing to dance music, I was like, oh wait, this is super fun. I didn't understand anything else besides that. And then I got more into it when I attended Beyond in 2022. So just after my freshman year of college. And that was kind of just like an influence through like some high school friends were like, we got to go to this. Like one of my friends, Tessa, went to, I think, UC Berkeley, and she like went to a couple shows. She's like, this is so cool. You have to come. And I was like, all right, like, sure, I'll go to the Gorge. That sounds awesome. And then it's like me with my friend Cole, like headbanging to Zed. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know what's happening, but this is really cool. And I'm wearing like a cropped, like tie-dye, sparkly tank. Like I would never have done that. But like that's so cool because then that's how I got introduced to what it really meant to be part of like that community. Just from like a high level. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing to like, and I can say this now because that's kind of where the position I'm in. It's one thing to look at EDM from the outside versus being an active part of it. This is my only connection really to EDM because I don't go to shows anymore as often as I used to. I don't play anything. Although I am playing a wedding, not my sister's wedding,
Counts.
but a wedding.
Counts.
Yeah.
And it counts, but I'm not gonna be playing any EDM.
Good.
Maybe I'll play some Zed. I know that their family likes Millennium. Maybe I'll
Roses?
play some Millennium. Roses by Chainsmokers. I gotta do that. Or I'll play Closer. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is for my coworker, and we're about the same age, so I'm sure if I played any of those, like Major Lazer, DJ Snake, like those throwbacks, they'll like it. But
Or Bad Bunny.
All the Bad Bunny. All the time with this Bad Bunny.
I love Bad Bunny.
Yeah, man, of course.
yeah, I mean, there is some Bad Bunny on the playlist that I'm making for the wedding. So
You got to tell me if what happened to me happened to you. I played a wedding a couple weeks ago, and I was playing Bad Bunny, and then while I was playing it, some guy asked me to play Bad Bunny, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, this is Bad Bunny, man.
That's how you know they're out of touch.
Yeah, dude, it's just an older song, but I was like, yeah, man, this isn't off the latest album.
But
but
his voice is so
it's the same.
like you know it. Like you know his voice when you
It's so
hear it.
iconic.
There's a
Through and
way that he sings and his
Yeah.
like cadence. It's like you know it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But that's funny. Yeah, that's so funny. Well, yeah, we talked about what? We talked about like growing up in Portland and what that
Mhm.
was like. And you kind of briefly mentioned how you got into DJing, into EDM in college. And obviously that's kind of, I met you towards the tail end of your college, your time in college. But I kind of just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that because that takes you to kind of where you are now out of college. But yeah, I know that you were in a fraternity. I know that you DJ'd at Earl's for a while, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I did a couple shows there. That was fun.
Earl's.
Yeah.
Earl's, yeah.
What's Earl's?
It's a dive bar.
Yes. Which dive bar?
DJ's in a dive bar.
Let's
come
go.
on. No,
Yes.
that was so funny that you mentioned that because, I mean, it's pretty typical. You look at like just a white dude coming out of college, like DJing, like, oh, of course. Like, it's so, like, it's literally,
Yeah.
it's like meant to be, I guess. And especially coming from like having some sort of other music background and then like the TikTok stuff and like everything, like it just looks so typical, but it's like so funny because it just like happened and it felt right. Like with Earl's, that's such a funny story because if you're familiar with Greek life, you have someone who's like a grade above you, who is kind of like we call your big brother or something, right? So my friend James, he was the bartender there, and I was just like, I got a taste of what like DJing is. Like I think somebody in the room next to me, they had like a Flex 10. Pioneer Flex 10, and I was like always in there. They would like set up a 15-inch speaker and just be like playing house music, and I would like walk in there and I'd be like, "Hey, can I like play a couple songs?" and they say no, and I was like, oh, fuck. But eventually, like I was able to like play, and then and I'm like I was like thirsty. I like really wanted to DJ, which is just like such a funny feeling to like look back on because you're like, man, it wasn't that deep, but it felt that deep. Like it was really, it really felt like I was something. I was like, I really want to do this. This is super cool. All the cool people are doing it. Like I see it at parties. I see it at like events. I'm like, it's so cool. So Earl's, he works there. I'm like, what if, I just like DJ'd there, like through a party. First one was so bad.
What?
First one was so
Really?
bad.
Why?
It's just like, man, like, okay, there was just a table and it was just like a little tiny deck and there's no sort of production or anything. And it wasn't bad in the way that like, I don't think people didn't have fun. I think people had a good time, but like looking back, it just wasn't an event that I think somebody would return to. They came there because it was a space, right? And like, we can talk about that more. I would love to talk about that, but this space was like cool and like people were there and it's just like what you do on a Friday. And then it evolves. Like, I was like, okay. So like 200 people came to that. Obviously I didn't really have anything to do with the poll, but like I kind of understood a little bit more. I'm like, okay, that didn't work. So I tried again. And then the next time I put other people on the lineup. I was like, let's just like bring in one other person, see how that goes. Maybe I should like bring in Chaz. Remember him?
Yep.
And like, let's take some photos. Like, let's try to make it an event. Like, let's theme it. Let's make themed cocktails. Like, it got kind of fun. And that one did a little bit better. And like, they had a little line going. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm DJing a dive bar. Like, but it's kind of fun. Like, that's such a meme right now. So that's like such a hot topic. So I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the last one I did was just like at the end of my senior year. And I worked with this guy, and we brought in, spots and like CO2, and like I rented a stage from Aurora Rents, and I built like a table, and I got a subwoofer, and I got 2 15-inch speakers, and I had my new like AZ, and I had a bunch of shit. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can.
No, you can cut.
I had a bunch of shit, and like I set it all up. It was awesome. Like it was so fun. And to see that like progress over a 6-month period was cool. Like it's not like I didn't throw an EDC, but like I did call the EDC Earls.
You did.
Yeah,
You
I
did.
did.
I remember that.
I did call it EDC
Let's
Earls, which is so
go.
funny because it was almost a year ago today because,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is so recent. Yeah, I forgot that this just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, but it was fun because, I mean, a lot of people at UW, like, they didn't really have a close outlet to like electronic music, whether it be like, you just go to your fraternity and there's like some guy like DJing or whatever. But you didn't have like a true like in-betweener. Like you're not going to pay, a ticket to go down to Showbox or go down to Q or Vice or whatever. But you can kind of just walk down the street and hop into a bar and there's like lights and dancing and like, if you go back and watch the recap, like people are having fun. And so like looking back on that, I'm like, I'm so glad I did that because I understood a little bit more about what it takes to like actually have an event. I'm not a promoter, I'm not an event planner, but like knowing that stepping into a room is so valuable later. In the last year, it's helped me so much.
Yeah.
What were you playing at the time? So is that just like what do you play at Earl's?
What do you play at Earl's? I don't know. I mean, I mostly just house. Like a lot of the house I thought was cool at the time. Yeah, some like more like speed house stuff that was like kind of like a little bit more 140 BPM, trying to just experiment and see what people would react to. No one was there to go like watch Carson Paskill, the DJ. My name wasn't even Carson then. It was Scoot.
Scoot. Yeah. Wait, was it DJ Scoot or just Scoot?
It was DJ Scoot.
Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be your like bass music alter ego.
Yeah, I didn't see that. There is no alter ego for me. It's me. Like
It's just you.
if I'm gonna play dubstep, great. I'm gonna play dubstep. I don't need another Instagram account for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, Scoot. That was not a name that I chose. It was given to me.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Michael.
You wanna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours gave me the name because he put me on this lineup for the first show that we played, and he's like, "You need a DJ name," and I'm like, "Just use my name." He's like, "No, you need a name."
What?
And so I was like, "All right, well, my middle name's Scott." And he's like, "Perfect. You can be like Scoot." And I was like, and I ran with that for I think like 4 months.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I guess it did.
Yeah. So you got your first like your intro into like event planning, and like throwing an actual event. I think all of us here have thrown an event. Yeah. There's so much more than you'd think.
Oh yeah.
It is a nightmare a lot of times. So you said that helps you now. How does that help you? Like knowing what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah. I guess you can appreciate a lot of the rooms you step into a lot more and what goes on the back end to make that space what it is. Also understanding, like, I played from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like, I played for 4 or 5 hours. Like, you have to understand what that looks like when you're playing to a bunch of 20-year-olds. But it's like understanding how the night progresses. That's one thing. 2 is understanding, what production you need to make a night cool. Like, production progression. That's a huge topic, hot topic of, like, holding off on openers and stuff like that. And then 3, I think, is just, like, safety. Like, we had a fight break out the first time, unrelated, but, like, just having the right amount of staff, like, watching out for things. I mean, this is a college environment, so it's a little bit different. Like, it was a little bit more juvenile, you could say, like, just younger people, but safety was huge, right? Because anything can happen in those settings, so you have to be aware of that. And as a DJ, like, you're the one standing you're just higher than people because you're standing higher, so you can see more stuff. So all those things together, I think that's why I pulled away from Earl's to, like, when I step into, like, a nightclub or, any sort of venue or like even a DIY thing. Like, I got to understand those 3 things together. And what is my place here? Like, how am I going to contribute to this dance floor, to this event,
Yeah. So what came next then?
What was next?
Was that, you must have started production at some point in here.
Yeah, no. So I bought Ableton, like 13 months ago. So I didn't really touch it till the summer because I, like, graduated college and just I was just enjoying the time that I had around all these people that I haven't seen much, right? So production snuck in there. I bought Ableton because I got a student discount. So plug, if you're still a student, you could get Ableton. You have an EDU email.
Really?
Yeah, you can get it like 40% off or something.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
It's like
That's awesome.
It's like a big discount. So then I started producing house music because that's what I thought was cool. And I think that's what you should always do. You should always follow what you think is cool because that's what you're going to have the most fun doing. So I'm like, I'm going to make house music because it's cool. And I made a bunch of really weird, like, I didn't know what sidechaining was. I just was throwing splice samples into a project and warping it God knows how much. Like, and so just, I didn't really understand, like, structure and anything. And throughout that summer, I traveled to Japan for a month. I heard a lot of different music there. And so I just, like, was on the plane. I'm like, okay, what did I hear? How do I recreate that? Like, I, like, Shazammed a song in Tokyo and then just, like, dragged it into the project. And then I expanded it. I'm like, how do I make this? I didn't know how to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that is the process. You kind of try to figure out how to do it. YouTube tutorials, asking your friends who are better than you. Like I made a song with Can't Sleep. His name's Jordan, and we met actually before Sammy Vergi, who played at Showbox Market.
Yeah, that was
so
a great show.
we're at his friend's house, and he was DJing and he's playing his music. I'm like, oh, this is your music? Oh, this is really cool. And I played a song that I made, and he was like, oh, like, okay, I can help you. And so like, instead of being like, this sucks, like, screw this guy, he was like, no, I'll help you. So like, I went to his house, we like made a remix, like a Maroon 5 remix. And it just kind of went from there. Like I worked with him, we've worked together now 3 times. And each time I think the music just gets like to another level, but that's where it started, you know, back in last spring and throughout the summer and the fall, this winter, and even in now, I put out 4 tracks, original tracks, you know, a handful of remixes, and I'm just progressing now. And finally, like getting traction to understanding, like, if you give me a song from Max Tyler and you pull it into a project, not that I can recreate it perfectly, but like I know what it might take, right? And so that's a really cool like feeling to have. Not saying I'm like a star producer or anything at this point, but yeah.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. That's really, really, really fast on the production track for sure. Yeah, but using reference tracks is something that we keep hearing over and over and over here. Yeah,
it's like so necessary.
Yeah, you're a fantastic producer.
Yeah, no, like the mentorship that I'm doing right now. It's like I have forced myself to like start doing reference tracks again, just because like it helps so much with like arrangement. Because like once you arrange your track out, the producing part of it's actually like the fun, easy bit. Because all you're doing is just like adding sounds to fill in the boxes.
Oh, interesting.
But like the actual arrangement, it's like all right, like especially for like the stuff that I'm like trying to make like original wise, like that's like more Odessa-y and it, like, you know, doesn't really have like the standard like intro, break, build, drop, right? Like it's got like, you know, extra bridges and all that stuff, right? But it's like, okay, cool. How do I do that? It's a lot easier to work with something that you can see.
Yeah.
Which you just pull into your project file and just have it turned off when you like when you're not using it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think if anybody's trying to make music, the first thing you should always do is try to replicate something that you want to make. And it's like such a grueling process to be like, I'm really inspired by a couple of people who are pretty young. This guy Welker, No Static, Luke, was it Luke Andrews or he just dropped a song on West End's label. But like I've literally been taking their music and just trying to recreate it. And that's been like such a fun exercise because you can literally see when the music comes in. Like, for example, if he has some sort of synth or something that is like just like a stab or something quick, you can see it, right? And so like you're like, okay, I'll put it there, and like learning how to like not always like just put it on the beat and like having a little bit of gosh, if I knew the word, I would sound so cool. What's it called when it's not? Oh man, whatever.
What are you trying to describe?
I'm trying to describe when it's you put a sound that's like not directly on like a beat. Swing, yeah,
syncopated.
Syncopated. Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
like a syncopated synth or syncopated like hat or something like that, and being able to see that is like night and day. Like you learn production like so much faster when you watch people are good.
Yeah, makes sense. You know, I think that's how I started when I was 14 learning bass. I played other people's songs. I wasn't trying to like do my own stuff right away. Yeah, trying to emulate other people's work makes a lot of sense. Do you ever do like the stem splitting? I know that's really popular now.
Oh, yeah.
Like split out the stems, and then now you're able to check things out more individualistically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm careful to like purchase some of these stem splitting like tools and stuff because I don't. Is Ableton's doing it right now, right?
Ableton has a stock one that's actually really freaking good. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I haven't even I don't even know how to get it. Honestly, don't you have to update Ableton?
Yeah.
If you're on Ableton 12 Suite, it's like you just right click and hit split stems.
Wow. The more you know.
I need to do that.
Yeah,
so nice.
Dude, don't
nice.
worry. Yeah, I'm sure you know this, but updating Ableton is not like updating Rekordbox. All right,
updating Ableton will actually get you something good. Updating Rekordbox will make you want to go to bed.
Yeah, and will make you miss your next show. And
I've hit cancel for a year.
Oh, dude, and we will for many years to come. Many years to come.
Honestly, 7 was just like, like, dude, I don't even need this. Realistically,
I
just need my Rekordbox 5 that came with my DDJ 400 way back when with the license key, and that's all I need.
Yeah. But no. I don't need the jog wheel to look different. Like I liked it how it was, Old dog, new tricks, I guess. Old dog, I've been around for so long.
Yeah, man. Wow, getting kind of up there.
Yeah. I feel like in rave years though, we could have like dog years, we can have rave years.
Oh wow.
Because like
What does that mean?
I don't
That's a
even
master's
know.
educated opinion right
Wow.
there. That's
I
a
guess-
University of Washington master's educated
I guess,
opinion.
yeah. I feel like one year of raving is equivalent to like, I don't know, 3 years of club going. I feel like
Club
Gotta be.
going.
I don't even know what a comparison would be.
Is
but
that different to you?
yeah, I mean, so I raved. I'm like mostly out of it now, but like because I raved heavy for almost from 2019. COVID made me take a break, obviously, but basically from 2019 to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderdome before our show was like the last big rave that I went to just to be a raver.
Mhm.
I went to Boo last year, but I was working at Boo as like doing the ground control harm reduction stuff. And then I also worked at Beyond, so I don't really count those because I wasn't like a raver, you know?
Mm.
So Thunderdome of 2025 was kind of like my like finale, I guess. I've gone to like the smaller shows here and there, but like I was supposed to go to Levity and then I was like, I don't have the energy, so I sold my ticket, like things like that. But when you rave that hard, I feel like it's only 6 years, and people like laugh because they're like, Matt, you're only 26, but that's what I mean. Like rave years in comparison to like real like life years, I feel like I've lived like a decade
Yeah.
when it comes to raving. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we're bringing like you said we're bringing you to freaking Shambhala this summer.
You know,
I've heard great things.
no.
So have I, man.
Oh,
I would love to go to
I
Shambhala.
went to my first one last year, and I'm going every single year. Like
Yeah.
it's just so.
I was
Like-
offered to work at EDC this year and I said no. And I stand firm by this, and this is my personal opinion. I have no desire to go to EDC because everything else, the festival is going to be amazing,
Mhm.
but it's all the other things surrounding
But
it
it's 2 weekends
Traffic.
now.
that I'm just
Yeah,
like,
they doubled it.
It's 2 weekends now.
If it's
You know?
nice, play it twice.
you
But
know,
the same lineup, 2 weekends.
when I saw that announcement, I said
Maybe, yeah.
No, like it literally.
Like
is
just
the
like
same lineup.
Coachella.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
just like
legit the
Coachella.
same.
they announced that they're doing that next year. They're gonna
Yeah.
have 2 weekends, and I was like, you know what? Maybe. It's just the Vegas heat, the traffic.
The
The
traffic killed
raceway.
me when
I
I was
hate
there.
traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just
I don't
sitting.
know if I could. I don't have the patience.
Oh, dude,
But
Yeah.
that's
just
why,
sitting
like,
there
you
for
can go
an
to,
hour.
I don't know, you can go to the gorge. Like, you literally
Yeah.
drive. Yeah, there's traffic too, but like, you're there. You're on a river. Like in Vegas, you're in a parking lot, man.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
but yeah, I mean, EDC
Literally
Vegas.
on a racetrack.
Yeah, I've heard so many good things about like people do it right, and like I think that's like when you're raving and you're talking about like longevity of like how do I sustain myself through being a raver. Is doing it right. Like you cannot
Yes.
just go like crazy and stay up for 5 days at Base Canyon and then be like, I'm good. Like you don't. This doesn't work.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna,
did it. It
you're
didn't
gonna
work.
burn out.
Yeah, you burn out, and so like
Yep.
the festival experience should be something that is like, I don't know. It should be something it's always be special. And if you have that feeling that it's like, oh
Yeah,
man,
doing it
like
too much. It's like
you don't want to lose that, right? So it's like you got to do it right, and you got to pick your poison. Like some people love Shambhala. I've heard
oh yeah,
like the best reviews of a festival. I'm sure you can speak on it. I've never been. I would love to go,
it
but
is the
like
best.
it sounds like one of those that's like, it's like Unicorn. It's like a really good festival, and it's not too capitalistic, and has really good music, and it's on a private property, and I mean, there's no alcohol allowed. I mean, that's cool. Like that's different. So like that's one of those things. To
Yeah.
be involved in that and to be asked to play at that kind of festival, I mean, that's the highest compliment you can get as a DJ. I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's huge.
absolutely. I mean, I got asked to do ground control, not play, unfortunately.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but then I have to think about the outlying factors too. The minimum wage, because you make minimum wage doing that job, bro. Minimum wage in Las Vegas or Nevada in general is significantly lower than Seattle's. It's hard for me to even want to work at the Gorge with a minimum wage of $18 an hour for the work that I'm doing, right? And it's a longer festival than like Beyond Wonderland, for example, and you're on your feet the whole time.
I saw your step counter. I think you posted it last
Dude.
time. It's like 60 or 70,000 steps. A
Yeah,
day?
so I posted on TikTok and like it got a little bit of traction, and someone commented they did the math. I basically walked the distance from the ground to the very top level of Earth's atmosphere
Wow.
in a festival
Goof.
in mileage.
Nice.
How many miles is that?
I don't even
I'm a
remember.
business major, man. I could.
I
tell
did
you.
I did my own math, and what that showed me was it was the equivalent of me walking from like North Seattle, where we are right now, all the way down to Tacoma, walking
Wow. In over a weekend?
over a weekend,
Oof.
4 days, well 3.5, but yeah.
Your calves probably just didn't exist.
Oh yeah, and then that's the other
No
thing.
legs after that.
That's the other thing is the gorge is beautiful, right? Because it's situated in a gorge, right? And it's got this beautiful hill that overlooks the river.
But it's 45 degrees.
That hill is amazing until you have to walk up and down it 50,000 times to check on people. And then you reach that like one person that's like, you know, just messed up beyond all belief. And you have to like shoulder, you know, do that walk with them all the way to the top of the hill. They're like at the bottom of the hill. And you and your like partner are just like struggling. Like,
It's hard work.
it's hard work.
man.
For $18 an hour, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, sure, free admission, right, to the festival.
Yeah.
You get like quasi VIP access because you can go backstage. They feed you. You get staff camping. Like, that's all awesome. But like for me, just like I'm not even that old, but I'm like, man, I've been doing this for so long as a
Rave years.
raver. It's the rave years.
I'm gonna start saying that. I'm
Rave
gonna
years.
take that with me. So thank you for coining that.
I'll say this:
term for
one
me.
rave year is equivalent to like 2 or 3 regular life years. I feel
Yeah.
like.
So are you
yeah.
saying raving just sheds years off of your life?
No,
No,
I'm
it
just.
actually adds years to your life.
What's that?
It actually adds years to your life.
I mean, his quads have to be huge by now, going up and down that hill. I don't know, man. It's gonna be
Just-
good for your muscle development.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
workout.
Carrying people down, that's a lot of cardio.
I have flat foot though, so
Mm.
anything walking, my like shins start getting shin splints after like 30 minutes.
I'm understanding you
Yeah.
more and more now. And I'm the opposite. I just got into raving like, I don't know, a couple years ago. I did something similar where I went to Base
Yeah.
Canyon, kind of because my buddy told me to. He had a ticket. I was
Mhm.
like, all right, man, yeah, sure. And I just fell
Yeah.
in love with it. I felt
Yeah.
leaving that place like, man, I want to do this. I want to make this. I hadn't felt that since I was like a
Mhm.
kid, like listening to music and wanting to like I want to emulate this. I want to know, I want to understand how are they making these sounds that are, you know, shaking my bones. This is crazy.
yeah.
It sounds like you had did you have like that similar, like
Yeah.
coming from beyond? Did you have the want to just DJ, or was it production as well? Like that was on your mind?
I think that it's interesting that you mentioned like the sounds shaking my bones because I have this like really like linear conception of like the sound that you make on a laptop shakes your bones. Like there's so much that happens between like the sound being made on from your synthesizer, like a serum, all the way to like literally being like physically hitting you. And that's so cool
Mhm.
that like you can make something on a laptop, on a PC that like so many people have the opportunity to feel was it physically in their ears, and that's like the coolest thing ever that you can do that. Anybody can do that.
And it's literally just like it's all just a bunch of ones and zeros, and like especially like when I'm doing like work with like my sub and everything, you're literally airbending.
Yeah,
You
like,
are.
literally airbending. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
you know, like
Like,
It's like it's- yeah.
what's his name? Airbender. What's his name?
Aang?
Aang?
Aang. Yeah. Yeah. We're all airbenders.
Yeah, man.
Like-
it is wild. Yeah, to
Yeah.
think about it in that way, and like
Like,
just
especially
just
sub
waves.
like especially sub because like
Yeah.
you will like freaking people at Shambhala are like literally like putting their head into like little sub cones because like everyone's so nice there and so respectful of like everything that like they let you just like be like the stage is literally right here. You can you can stand there and like freaking
Mhm.
the key to the wicket's like right there, right, or like or something like that,
Mhm.
right? And same with the woofers and people just
Sound
Putting their-
therapy. Yeah.
oh yeah like they're putting their heads like straight into the thing. You can see their hair just like blowing back
wild.
every time the
Have you done
freaking
that?
kick hits.
Have you
I
done it?
haven't.
Yeah, man.
I like my ears. I make music, so no.
Yeah, that'd be an experience
Just
though.
Tons of earplugs
I have
and just stick in
stuff
your
on
head.
it.
I have been riding rail for Sullivan King B2B Excision at Lost Lands, which was an experience.
Oh
but,
man.
I just can't.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're hearing, bro? You're at rail at Lost Lands.
Yeah.
I was
That's quite the
21,
contradiction.
okay?
I gotta
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
up. Because you can't stand on a high.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Who am I hearing?
Yeah, wow,
and
I
then be
wanna
like,
keep it
whoa.
That was 3 years ago, okay?
No, that's fair. I think anyways, to summarize your question, it's definitely I left that festival being like having that innate feeling of this is so cool. I'm like a kid, I'm jumping around. It's like I just got Legos on Christmas.
Mhm.
And so that didn't translate into anything real for a long time. And that's like a good thing to always remember that your ambitions and everything, they take time, and you should just focus on like the thing that you think is cool always. And like that's why like when I left that festival, I was like, okay, I want to make music. And then like it took me a while to get able to, and it kind of took me a while to find the right people to help me to learn music. And that is like completely okay. There's no timeline on it ever. You know, I don't care if I make music for 10 years and nothing happens. As long as it's like I have something in front of me that I'm happy about. And like that's why like going to festivals, going to shows, seeing new DJs is like the most inspiring thing ever to me. And so, yeah, I've had the exact same feeling. It's so funny that you mentioned it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, like piggybacking off of that too. It's like the mentorship I'm doing right now with OC, like one of the things that like we've been going over big time is like, you know, the timeline's one thing, or like, you know, like the desire is one thing, but like all you can do as a producer or like whatever you know, or as DJ or whatever, is just put out good energy into the universe and kind of go to shows, you know, be a good human, right? And then those kind of like connections and all that, and like you know, the knowledge and the people that you meet will just kind of come to you, right? And I'm not sure if you've kind of noticed that too, of like, you know, when I'm out, like when I go out, I'm like, oh, I want to network tonight or whatever. I just kind of come home empty-handed, but then.
But when you let it play
I'm just
out
kind of
naturally,
exactly,
man.
Like
People just want to, you know, I think that's a big part of like when I was first starting, I was like, oh, well, like, okay, I played one show. Like, how do you get another show? And everyone said the same thing. Like, just be cool, show up to shows, you meet people, and like things just happen. And I think there's a big community in Seattle. I'd be super curious to hear about your like perception of Seattle's community, Portland's community, and how it's treated you in like, and frankly, like, I don't know, like how it's benefited you or things that you haven't liked.
Yeah, Seattle EDM scene is like just such a hot button for me. I don't know. I love what the city has been doing. I will say that. I love the investment into the community and having like you just on the house music side, like throwing a party at Victory Hall every 2 weeks over the summer. That's so cool. That's new. That's never happened. So Seattle scene is fantastic commercially. It has so much appeal. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's so many like different kinds of people here who come from all over the country and the world, and you get to like, you know, bring in all those different inspirations, right? But the scene has, you know, like anything, it has a lot of good things and it has some bad things. The things that I really like about Seattle, though, is that people are pretty willing to listen and hear people out when it comes to like different kinds of music. Like, I will say, like, if I'm sitting on a porch drinking a beer, having a good time, like, I'm gonna listen to probably like some house music. But that doesn't mean if you put on, you know, some like Costa, if you know him, or like Dennett, like those new guys, I'm gonna be all in that. So, yeah, Seattle's scene is growing for sure. It's treated me well. And I think only because I did kind of what we talked about. Like, I showed up relentlessly to nightclubs and venues, and just introduced myself and said, hey, I'm Carson. Like, I love what's going on here. I want to be a part of it. That didn't really give me any results. Like, just showing up isn't the only reason you get, like, booked to play at, like a Vice or, you know, Victory Hall. Or I just played at Level 1 a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And so that all comes from interacting with people who, you know, are integral to the reason that the party is happening or the event is happening. So it's not that just like talking to the right person, but just like maintaining a relationship. I mean, you are selling yourself to them for them to be like, hey, I trust you to step in this room and this is my thing. And I trust you to put in your USB and play the right sounds. Like, and that's a privilege. So Seattle's great. Portland is so much different, but like in a way that I can almost not describe, because Portland is so unique. We know that. Keep Portland weird. That's like their whole motto. But that crowd is a lot more, it's just more engaged. Like I felt a lot of eyeballs on me when I played there. Like when I've played in Seattle, it doesn't feel as much as like I'm like truly like connected with someone in the crowd as much. In Portland, it did really like I played at Realm, which is this new venue that opened up last year. I played there. I played before Ian Asher, if you know who he is. He's my age. I mean, this guy's touring. He's my age. Anyways, I stepped into that room and it felt a lot more like a hug. Like it felt a lot more like there was people who were there. A lot of people didn't like. It's a lot newer. Like a lot of people it was their first rave. Like they're wearing like a full rave garb, and it's a club. It's like their first show. And so Portland is more like it's younger in that way. So that felt more, I don't know, it felt like people didn't have any sort of negative feelings toward EDM. Seattle, sometimes people have traveled here and they've like ended up here and they have more rave years, and they're kind of like, well, I'm not gonna go to that because I've like already done that like 5 times. Nothing wrong with that though. And so Seattle definitely has a bit more, I think, taste, and demands better music and better artists. Well, Portland has the same access to those artists and that music as Seattle does, but its fan base and the EDM goers and people that go out and watch those shows are newer to the scene or to the game, and that energy is like just different. And so I love Portland. I love playing there. But like, I mean, man, Seattle's my home. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be leaving Seattle for a while. So, you know, hopefully that answers your
Absolutely.
question.
No, that was
Yeah.
great. That was huge. Yeah.
That was a fantastic answer. I mean, I've gotten this like idea of like what Portland rave scene is in my head just because I've like talked to people, and that's where Ground Score
Mhm.
Games is from, and he's trying to build something cool out there. But I mean, I totally get that. I also think back to your point about just like the difference in like accomplishing things in Seattle. I feel like Seattle is a lot harder because, at least in the EDM space and the music space, because it's so like kind of it is
bigger.
it's bigger,
Yeah.
and to some extent certain genres of EDM are kind of like within the foundations of Seattle. I mean, Seattle has been, I mean, even back in like the 80s and 90s, they've been known to throw like these like
Yeah.
the bridge rave was
Mm.
big in the 80s. And then
Mhm.
there was this group that brought it back, and then obviously there's a whole lot of controversy around that, right? But that was when raves were actually like legitimately illegal. And they would throw raves, like these underground raves, and then they would have these like afters that were still raves in like these little like warehouses, but you wouldn't get to go unless you like knew someone,
Mhm.
and they would like invite you.
That's cool though.
And that helped
Yeah.
with like the safety aspect of like not any Joe Schmo can show up and just
Mm.
like be belligerent or violent or spike people's drinks or whatever, right? Versus like Portland likes this trend of being weird, but I think being weird which is so in line with raving, you would think,
Yeah.
right? But like you said, I feel like it's just younger. People are like, I feel like it's like trickling,
Mhm.
down from like even like Vancouver has a decent, EDM scene up there.
Yeah, I've never engaged with Vancouver, but
Yeah.
that's
Or
cool.
like Whistler. I know like they
Mhm.
throw these
Wait,
giant.
Whistler?
Oh, yeah. What's
They
Whistler
throw-
rave
just
scene?
did his
Actually, wait, no. One of the Shambhala pre-parties is actually in Whistler.
Yeah.
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 And then
Yeah.
They got the John Summit.
John
thing.
John
do.
Summit John
Yeah,
Summit
yeah.
started throwing Alpine
Yeah.
rave up at Whistler.
There's got to be something before that too, though. But I mean, I guess something else that came to my mind too, because
Yeah.
I have to shout out the scene in Portland, though.
Yeah.
I have to, because
Absolutely.
I don't want to sound like I'm dissing it, because what is happening down there is so unique. Like, if you heard
Yeah.
of Red Cube Presents,
Yes.
they're from Portland. I mean, they have been doing so many cool things down there. They did like at the Expo Center. They threw a 2-day festival there.
Yeah.
I mean, they have constant shows at 45. They have tons of fresh talent, like really, really good DJs that get me super. Like, I see them come through. Some of them don't even come through Seattle. I mean, it just depends on their tour. But I mean, they're building something really
Yeah.
large. They're doing Subtronics on the
Yep,
waterfront
Oh, amazing.
this summer, and
Yeah.
it's just like, it's so cool to see, an organization of that like size being able to just like really show up for a city. I mean, they did in the downtown, right in the center, like right next to my high school. They threw that what is it, the show with like Cranked At, like right in the center of the city. So cool. And like you're walking by, like there's no way he set it up, and then you see the videos of the courthouse is right there, and
Yeah.
it's like lasers. I'm like, this is so cool. And so, like, big shout out to Red Cube.
Yeah.
They are crushing right now in
That's
Portland. And also, another organization I want to shout out because I have a bunch of friends there, and they're also crushing it. If you guys have ever heard of Rose Entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
so and also I got to shout out one of my friends. I won't name him just because, but he owns Circuit EDM too. So
Wow.
those guys working really hard, and they're behind the realm.
Oh yeah.
They're like that venue used to be a ballroom. Like my dad, like in high school, went to like a prom or something there.
Wow.
fun.
And so they'd acquired that building, and they've really leaned into the production. I mean, their AV team, their sound is great. I mean, the line arrays are huge. The subs, like they've really gone in. And what I noticed that was different in Portland is when I was walking to the bathroom. I opened it for Matroda there, like in March, and I was the first one playing. And so I was walking to the bathroom, and right in the entrance they have these like like stairs. When you walk into a ballroom, it's like the nice like staircase, and the entire team, bartenders, like AV, sound, like everybody was standing around and they're doing a safety meeting. And it's like, we're in a
Wow.
club. Like, it's so cool to see that because, like, you might think, okay, you tell them to do this. And it's like, no, they all got together and, like, they make sure that the night runs safely and, like, it runs smoothly. And they're so serious. And, like, I don't see that as much in Seattle.
Nope.
But, I mean, that's just a great example. Like, how do you run a good space? Going back to Earl's, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have the best nights and you're going to bring the best talent and you're going to make the most money when your space is like that. When anybody feels invited in, there's no exclusion. It's like safe, and that's like so cool to see. In Portland, at least at that venue, I know they're doing a great job, just from what I've seen. I'm sure other venues are doing a stellar job too, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's awesome. I'm right there with you. I mean, me saying Portland is like younger, it's just a refreshing thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about rave years, right? Like, I'm jaded. I'll be honest. Like, I'm particular. There are things that I expect to see. This new, where I used to be excited for people like, oh, like I'm going to like EDC, it's my first EDC or whatever, right? Like, I'm just like I feel like a boomer. I'm just like, man, these kids, bro, these freaking kids don't even know. And part of it's true, right? Like, there is a lot of new toxic energy that has kind of infiltrated the rave scene, even in the Pacific Northwest, which is a special bubble, I would say, and that includes Portland. But I think the cool thing about Portland is that because it's younger in raving and like bringing artists and things like that, it gives them that ability to take the time to be intentional versus like in Seattle, where a city that's so jaded and that in general with music, it's been involved with, I mean, Nirvana came from Washington, right? Yeah. And we've got Pearl Jam and we've got, well, not really the Foo Fighters, but Dave Grohl, right? We had Jimi Hendrix, like all the, like music in general has been a foundation of Seattle. So throwing events, having concerts, having famous artists is kind of just in its DNA. But what happens is you lose sight of what makes it special. And like you were saying, safety is maybe not always the number one priority, because the number one priority is to sell, which is fine because it's a business. But safety, you're going to sell less tickets in the future if people are like, well, something happened to me at the last show, or like I didn't feel safe, or I didn't feel welcome. Speaking even more about like our queer friends, there's been like giant, cases of like homophobia in like the local promotion scene and things like that, or transphobia, like stuff like that, where people don't feel safe, people don't feel welcome. And then obviously at the bridge, there's been numerous things that have happened there. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, I'm excited for what Portland. When I saw they were bringing Subtronics, I was like, "Holy, what?"
I know, I gotta go to that, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
you have to.
It's huge. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's your
cool to see.
hometown.
It's really cool to see that they have like a venue that's like that professional, that's taking it that seriously. It's giving like breath and life. I feel like just like the air to the fire.
You feel it.
Yeah.
You literally feel it.
That's
and
awesome.
you walk into spaces here and you feel it too. And like, that's like so cool to like walk into the right spot and you're like, whoa, oh my gosh, wait, I can like let myself just enjoy this. Like this weekend, I'm getting the privilege. I get to play at Monkey Loft. Oh, and I'm so excited to play there because like I've been there 10 times now, 12 times. I don't even know, maybe a few more. And it's just like that's a venue I also love to talk about because I'm like, it's just like a really good example of just like a club. Like it's not flashy, it's just there and it has history, character, and it's just safe. It's just safe. You don't have to worry about like you're not like it's not pokey.
Like the one thing I noticed was like is Monkey Loft is what I broke my Seattle seal with, of like my 5 a.m. seal of staying out till 5. My buddy Patrick Shrines was closing out for, I think it was EPROM.
Shout out Shrines.
Shout out Shrines. But friggin' like the thing I noticed was like even at 4 a.m. Pat brings the D&B out and people are going at it at like until 5, and I'm like, I get home and like I'm watching Formula 1 in Austria. I'm like, man, I should be in bed right now. But I was going crazy to friggin' D&B like 30 minutes ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my set time's at 3 a.m.
Let's go. Yeah.
That's the prime time though.
I know.
Prime time. It's beautiful up there, man. Are you on the rooftop?
I mean, weather dependent, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But they said in their email today that are like fingers crossed. So.
Wait,
Awesome.
Weather's
Awesome.
good this
they
weekend.
have a rooftop?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
That rooftop this weekend.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna be at Grizz this weekend, but next time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be there too.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, you actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that announcement because I mean, by the time this episode airs, it'll already happen. So
Yeah.
it's not really a secret anymore.
Yeah.
After the fact, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now's a good time to just maybe take a quick breather.
Love it.
And we can kind of reset. Yeah, but it's been an amazing conversation and sorry to like cut it so abruptly, but we got notified we're on a little bit of time crunch today, so trying to be respectful of that. But thank you, listeners. We'll be right back. Have a lot more for you guys with Carson in the studio today. So yeah, see you in a bit.
Stick around.
Peace.
Hey, my name is Emily Dalgo, and I'm the executive director and the founder of the Overdose Prevention Collective, or OPC. And we are a nonprofit 501c3 charity organization based right here in Seattle. We do work across the city and across the county to reduce fatal overdoses in our community by educating people on how to recognize and respond to an opioid overdose, how to use Narcan, how to use fentanyl testing strips to keep yourself, your friends, and your community safer. So if you'd like to get involved, we are fully volunteer run and donor based. You can find us on Instagram at OD Prevention Collective. Feel free to shoot us a message or an email. Check out our website to get more resources. We are always happy to work with anybody who wants to work with us. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like to get involved. Thanks.
Welcome back to the podcast after a brief intermission, and hope you enjoyed the shout out at the halftime. It's going to be something we talk a little bit more about in detail, so stick around, stay tuned. But yeah, where did we leave off? We left off with I don't even remember.
I think we were talking about different cities and scenes and that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about it over the break, but we've been talking about like you, right? And as it's been, your career, you're starting, why Portland's important to you, why Seattle's important to you, and how it helps you identify as an artist, right? But as we know, being an artist is more than just what is happening now. There's always going to be opportunities in the future, things going on. And right before the break, actually, I remember now, we talked about how you were going to play the Gorge.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this episode comes out, Grizztronics will have already happened at the Gorge, and I'll let you tell them what you'll be doing or what's going on.
Yeah. So I guess today's the 20th, 21st, but 22nd. I don't even know. But this Saturday, I'll be playing the Silent Disco out there at the Gorge. So super stoked to be part of that entire music experience that they're having. Subtronics and Grizz are just two giants, and so being able to like support that is really cool. So it'll be similar to Bass Canyon. So if you've ever been to the Silent Disco there, just be right there in the pivot. But yeah, I'm super stoked for that. But also this weekend, like I mentioned before, I'll be having my Monkey Loft debut, which will be awesome. I'm also going to be playing before that in Percy's at Percy's & Co. It's like bar.
Dive bar.
DJs in a bar.
Let's go.
Yes.
Along some good friends of mine. It's put on by Neenski, if you've heard of him. And he has like me. He has Kyle Grant, Jordan, who can't sleep, and a couple other folks that I'm really happy to be playing alongside. So yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend coming up. And
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I haven't played a show all of May, so my record box is ready. Yeah, no, let's just say it's ready.
Awesome.
That's
I'm
awesome.
super excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you? Are you gonna play what you normally play? Are you gonna tailor something for Grizztronics? That feels like a crazy shift, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't produce dubstep. I love dubstep. I love bass music in general. So I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'll probably just make a crate of house music, bass music, and everything in between. So I'll just kind of play between those three. I have an hour and a half, which is great. So
Nice.
lots of room to,
Yeah.
putz around and play different stuff. I mean, it's after a festival, so I mean, the bar isn't as high, which is really nice. But I'm I'm setting the bar high myself. So,
Yeah. I love that.
I will go on record. I will play dubstep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
play some dubstep. Yeah.
And it's multi-channel, right? The Silent Disco. Is there multiple people playing at the same time?
Typically, yes, but I haven't got the details on that yet. So,
Okay, gotcha. Very cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, by the time this episode is aired, that'll already have happened. So if you were at Gristronics and you were at the pivot for Silent Disco, there's a high likelihood that you saw Carson perform. Also, I've had the rare occasion of hearing Carson spin some dubstep every once in a while, and he's good at it. So just going to throw that out there. Yeah, and another way, I guess, too, of Portland showing its love back to you, because you mentioned the connection was made through Red Cube, or was that, yeah?
Yeah. I was just super fortunate to be contacted by someone that had doing the booking there, and they said that, there was some connection there. So, it's always good for those promoters to be looking out for the local artists, right? I mean, your job as a promoter is to promote, right, and find the right talent for these shows. And it's really cool when you can, build a relationship with someone who, is making these decisions. But, I really like to give just hats off to the folks that I've worked with, because they're just, they're doing it with thought, right? And, recommending people to the right things that, they think they'd be a good fit for, or just, available for and a good fit, right? And in some way you have this responsibility to, make the right choice. And so, it's really cool that there are a lot of promoters in this area that are, really going in and like attending shows, seeing the talent, like actually watching your set when they book you, and that's really cool. So, just feeling lucky and excited.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome opportunity. And here, we'll show this too. You want to show off the hat?
Wow.
Just for the occasion.
This is how you can spot me out there, right, bro? When I'm out there dancing, I'll be wearing this guy. All right.
That and his height.
Right.
And his hair.
Yeah.
You're not hard to miss, man.
I mean, yeah, I look like a Yeti. That's part of the name. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be up front.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check it out.
But that's super exciting. Yeah. And so glad that it's happening for you.
Thank you.
And all of that. You also mentioned that there was something else that you found really important to want to mention, because we talked a lot about safety. We talked about throwing events, and I know, like you said, you've experienced throwing an event. You've experienced throwing events with McKenna and the Rave fam. Like, it's important. It's an important element. And another way, as you saw, like during intermission, another way that it is important to stay safe when raving is to not kill yourself by accidentally taking something or doing something that is not safe. And as I mentioned on this podcast before, I got my name Grandpa Wook, not because I'm old, although we talked about rave years. Yes, I am. But also because I'm wise. And that was why they named me that, from the experience, right, of 5-6 years of raving. And in that 5-6 years of raving, I am blessed to say that no one, when I was raving and anyone under my care, has ever overdosed on anything. Now, when I worked ground control, I have seen things. I have heard things on the radio, right, the headsets, of not so fortunate individuals. And it's scary. And it can happen to anyone, And so what I thought was really cool was you had a nonprofit that we gave the Shoutout spot to. And that's something we're going to do continually on the show, is shout out some local nonprofits that are doing important things for the rave scene. But I just wanted you to give the floor to kind of just reiterate everything it stands for, because I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah. I think first off, before I talk more about OPC, I think safety in nightlife is, like, when it comes to like substances, is just like, it's talked about a lot, which is really good. And so I just want to like give the thanks to the folks that are doing that. It's really easy to confuse anything, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the rise of like fentanyl being in, not necessarily in everything, but being mistaken for other sort of substances that are more commonly used. So just really want to give a thanks to the people that are on the ground, and educating folks about that. So yeah, I wanted to shout out OPC, stands for Overdose Prevention Collective. It is a nonprofit local here to Seattle. And they do a lot of work, more community-based, not necessarily with nightlife, but I just think it's really good for everyone to understand, what it takes to, understand, like, that you can save someone's life with a simple dose of Narcan. That is a really, really, like, easy easy way to save someone, right? And administering Narcan is not hard. It's literally a nasal spray. It's not hard to access. You can get it from OPC. They give it out at multiple events. And another thing that is kind of not as much talked about in harm reduction is testing. I mean, if you're gonna obviously partake in any sort of substance, test it, test it. There's literally no harm, no foul in testing your drugs. Test your drugs. Like cool people test their drugs.
Yeah.
And that can save your life at a festival. I mean, but that's not always when this is happening. And like I don't want to turn the scope on that. You know, all these like when there's a fentanyl overdose that's happening at a festival. No, that's happening in the street. That's happening, you know, in people's homes. That's happening from literally confusing something like cocaine with fentanyl and using what you think is cocaine and literally dying on the spot.
Yep.
That happens, you know, a stat that came out from OPC was that, you know, 8% of deaths from overdose were confusion with cocaine. Of like what they call powder confusion. So it's just really good to understand that this can happen with like at a very small amount, and understanding how to use Narcan and how to test your drugs. Yeah. And how to also know what an overdose looks like. So in the rave scene or like at a music festival, you know, DJs I think have the responsibility to like spot that. I think you can like think of like a levity, like they always are seeing that, right? And that's something you have the responsibility for, but it's also the nonprofits on the ground control that also, you know, should have a vigilant eye. But the real person who should be like paying attention to it is all of us, right? Yeah. Like you should just be vigilant as hell. Like always be looking, because it's not hard to notice if someone is just like, you know, stumbling or they're dehydrated, whatever it is. And you can always like call someone like you and just say, hey, like we need help over here. Because that's gonna save someone's life, but it could also just like improve the entire experience for everyone, making sure that no one is getting hurt. And we are all a community, right? And so being able to protect each other, you know, in a music setting, but also like understanding that this isn't just a problem in music, you know, and not a problem, but like an event that is happening. So I just want to plug OPC. So if you ever see them, go get some Narcan, go get trained on how to use it, go grab a test strip, and keep you and your people safe. Yeah,
amazing, fantastic work they're doing. That's really cool.
It's so important. Just because, like, I mean, I've been around a lot of that. Luckily with ground control, it was always dehydration. It was never ODing, which was it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, so you need to be aware. But it is also easy to mistake ODing as like dehydration. There's similar symptoms sometimes. Either way, help the person. So I'm fortunate that was never the experience. But in my day job, being like in social service, social work, right? Like I've worked in shelters where there are people that come in and they collapse, and you're like, what the fuck do I do? I've had secondhand exposure to fentanyl before because someone came in, OD'd, and I was the first responder. But the dust, like they still had it on them. And then I started getting lightheaded, and I said, this is not cool. So I had a Narcan myself in my car. So overdose is something really important to me. And it can affect anybody, and it again, like you mentioned, it's also important to the experience. Like there's so much more to raving than just you. And I think that's what makes raving special, is it is a community like you shared. And part of me, like in the last half, talking about being jaded and the new wave of ravers, is they don't have that education.
And it's also like it falls on like a venue to be safe, right? And so like, when I talk about the experience, I'm talking about like people are having a tough time, or like something bad is happening and not being taken care of correctly. Yeah. And that ruins the experience, right? Yep. And when we're talking about if we're talking about somebody like just being dehydrated, that's a completely different like avenue than when we're talking about like a fatal or potentially fatal overdose, right? And I think it's also really important to differentiate between music and like what is happening in the rave scene. Like it's very occasional, and it's very, I think the focus should be what happens just on the day to day, right? And you know, that's where like the energy towards overdose prevention should be, I think, pointed to
in general.
And it's really, but it's really good to understand that within the music scene, because you can, you know, even though it is rare, you have the tools to make that, save someone's life for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think enough people know about it in their day-to-day lives, and I think it is important. It is super important to educate yourselves and to be educated about all of that. I've been told so many times, oh, you're a social worker, you can figure it out. I'm like, no, this is a skill everyone, especially living in Seattle, we need to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think everyone and their mom should learn how to at least use Narcan.
Yeah, and also it's like I feel like
Yeah.
there is like a stigma with rave. It's like, oh, you guys are just a bunch of druggies or whatever. Like, no, like we are like most of like the rave fans that I've hung around with, and like honestly, like I think 99% of the like folks are like very educated and smart, and they know what to do. And like the second R in plur is responsibility.
Mhm.
It's our responsibility to like speak openly about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Teach folks about like not only like the dangers, but the fact that testing is really cheap when you think about the cost of it could be your life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the trade-off is like there's no argument.
Yeah.
There's no argument against
Like
it.
go buy a $4 test kit from DanceSafe. And
Yeah. There are plenty available. They're all
You can get free
legal.
ones from
Free
OTC.
There we go.
Yeah.
yeah
Free ones.
exactly.
Free test
Yeah.
kits.
Exactly. There's just no excuse at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's just important work, and I just really want to plug it because I don't think enough people are, involved in that kind of work. And yeah, just want to give a huge shout out to Emily, who's the founder, and all the work she's doing. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
Huge shout
That's
out.
awesome. Absolutely. Great work they're doing for sure.
Great work we're doing.
We're
what?
They're
No,
doing.
they're doing.
They're
Yeah.
doing. I said word. They're doing. What am I
We're
talking
not-
about?
yeah,
my
we're
brain.
not-
My,
Yeah,
my
we're
brain. My
just
brain.
boosting
My
it
brain.
up.
My brain's like.
No, it's all good.
My brain's broken right now. You
shif-
have it.
what's
Yeah.
up?
Go for it.
Yeah, just shifting gears because we do have limited time.
Yeah.
To you and the project where you're at now, what you got upcoming, even if it's before this podcast release. What do you got going on, and where do you think you want to be going?
Yeah, I guess that's like, the goal at the end of the day, like the big goal, the dream is to sustain myself with music. That doesn't mean I need to be like a touring DJ and I need to sell at arenas. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I just want to be able to live a life that is centered around that. Now, that's so hard. That is so
hard.
hard.
So hard.
And I have a day job. I work like a 8 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. And that's how I sustain being able to, invest in the plugin or, pay for all the things that I want to like attain this life.
Yes.
I started this like a year ago. I know, and I'm not naive, like I know it's going to take a while. And I know I'm going to be constantly trying to like release music, collaborate, make remixes, play shows. And like, I know that's going to take a while, but going forward, what I really want to focus on is quality, right? And so like when it comes to live performances, trying to find shows, venues, people that are, in the direction that I'm trying to go, having goals for myself. Like I have a notepad, like a sticky note that at my old house, I just wrote like venues I want to play, like super simple. And it's been great because this year I've been able to like just cross off another one
Nice.
and just like be like, okay, I really want to play there. Why do I want to play there? What is cool about it? Like ask myself that question. And then it always comes back to like, oh man, I really like the music that's there. And I'm like, wait a second. Like I gotta like reframe this all because the reason I want to play somewhere is because I want to be making the music that is being played there. And I'm like, and it's this whole like circle. So going forward, I really want to continue to just make music, be inspired, and just go to a bunch of different things and see what was the reaction to that kind of song. So, yeah, I'm just really trying to put my head down and make as many songs as I can, even if, make a lot of bad ones every day. But like one quote that I've always been like focused on and trying to bring myself back to is actually from Subtronics. I think he said, make 400 songs and then pick a DJ name.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said on a live stream. And that's like, oh, that resonates so well. I mean, I picked a DJ name with like 3 songs made. And my DJ name is just my name.
Yeah.
So, Carson Paskill is my legal birth name.
First time that it's ever been done by a DJ. Yeah.
I think there's got to be someone.
No,
right?
yeah.
There's
No.
gotta be
I was
someone.
blown away by how many people like.
Wait, is
are-
John Summit's last name not
It's
Summit?
Schuster.
Yeah.
No,
It's not Summit. It's Schuster.
Is it
Schuster.
not Calvin Harris?
Yeah, but that's
mean
my
to tell
direction.
me?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just trying to continue to make music, and I watch a lot of people around me. A lot of people around me have been making some insanely good music. One friend I want to shout out, his name's Genova. His real name's Elliot. He's him and I released a song together called Taka Taka.
Yes.
If you've heard it, and that was like our first collaboration that we've done. but he's grinding. Like this is his path, and watching him make music is great. Jordan, I keep mentioning him, always sending me, he's like sending me songs all the time. Like, it's so cool to just like, I'm at work or I'm at lunch or it's a weekend and I just get a text and it's just like it's an MP4 or a WAV file. And he's like, listen to this. That's so cool. Like to be able to do that and just to make something, share it and be like, okay, what's your reaction? And like, see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I love doing that too. But the caveat is, excuse me. The caveat is if you do that too much, you rely on the other person's opinion a little bit. So,
it can influence.
It can. So yeah, like getting music sent to me is I love to hear that from like anyone. Like if you're watching this and you make house music, just send me music. I want to hear it. I want to like be inspired by it. I want to maybe say, hey, can you bounce the file and send it to me? Like, can I work on it too? Someone that has sent me beats recently, Low-Key D.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Low-Key D.
of course.
Been trying to get to that as well, and I'm super excited because we've been starting to do stuff. Working on some projects, bouncing some ideas back and forth. But I mean, that's just what I want to keep doing. Like, I just want to keep finding people that I know their goal is to produce music, and their goal is to make it by producing music, and then DJing is the reward.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool that there are like DJs in this city that are just stellar DJs. They're just so good, and they know how to read a room. They know how to play the right music at the right time. They dig like a motherfucker, and they find the coolest beats and the coolest tracks out there. And that's a really, really that's a skill, and that's hard to do. And you have to being able to do that and then also produce on top is crazy. So I never see shade for anyone that would be just only DJing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just don't think that's the path I want to go because the longevity I think what comes from it is when you make music.
Yeah, it was
when people resonate with your stuff, they're gonna come to your show not because they saw you DJ once, maybe a couple times, but like over a career, how you build a long-term fan is by having like really good music. So
it was I think it was Oliver Heldens that said you can only get so far playing other people's tracks, right?
Yeah.
In the end, like you gotta have your brand, right? Like it's your sound for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no chef cooks other people's food and serves it and says, like every restaurant
I
has
just want Gordon Ramsay to serve me a Hot Pocket.
Yeah, man.
right? But like every chef even has their signature dish. I don't know why I always bring it back to
because you get hungry at the end of these episodes, man.
I
know what it is.
I pig out after,
Let's do it.
Anyways, speaking of ending of episodes, we want to do respect time. We got a little bit more time, to chat a little bit more, but it was just awesome, to just get to pick your brain this half to something that is also really important to me about all of that, and then to hear where your roadmap to like where you're going, especially because the cool experience I've had is just to get to know you. I didn't even realize from the beginning of your career, or at like the very like close to the start, And speaking of sending tracks, like Carson would send me his early tracks, a couple of them that you made. I think you sent me the Maroon 5 one you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this is sick, And so it's just been cool, and I appreciate you coming on the show too because the show is full circle for me as well. For a lot of people, Megan was one of the first guests. Megatron was one of the first guests we had on the show, and then I got to play her first ever headline show was Plur in the Air the year before. So it's just like super cool how everything kind of comes back. But that's what raving is, right? That's the community aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to spend some time being intentional about this question, and then we're going to roll out the floor for you to make official announcements, right? But it's the Slim Yeti question.
Oh, yeah.
We ask everybody.
Yeah, we ask this to everybody. It's a two-parter. So the classic question, if you could go back and tell something to yourself, your younger self, which younger self would that be? What age? And what would you tell them? And also, what would that younger self then tell you that you might want to keep in mind moving forward?
Wow. That's a meaty question. Yeah. I mean, I was part of the group of people who was in high school during COVID. It's a continuing theme.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk to him. I mean, that's just like such a transformational part of my life. I spent so much time making pop music, going to school online, making TikToks. And I would definitely tell him this is one thing I wish I did is I would tell him just keep making TikToks. And that's crazy to say out loud, but it's not just, I'm not talking about just the platform. I'm talking about just content in general. You have the ability to genuinely rearrange your entire life over media. Like social media is like a gargantuan. We all know this, but I kind of stopped. Like I stopped during college. Like I just focused on other things, and that was fine. I'm here in this seat doing things that I like because I followed that. But I would tell him just like keep grinding and keep spinning that wheel, because that is like the endless creativity that I crave to just like have an outlet for. And I stopped doing that because, I mean, I was doing like relationship content. It didn't even like relate to anything that I was doing now, but that is what I would tell myself is keep investing in that, because the dividends on, you know, your social media, like experience and how you like showcase that to the world is like exponential. People they don't work a day in their life because they have just been grinding on that. And it's like not as serious of a topic, but it's so important because we live in that digital world. You know, you see like I'll walk in I'll wake up and open my phone, and then I see like some announcement and some guy has like a song coming out. And it's like a cool visual, and like I'm like, oh, well, that's really cool. And I'm like, wait, that just like probably took them like 8 hours or 5 hours, and that's what they're doing. And like one person, and we all know he's crushing right now, is Keeb.
Oh, yes.
Keeb is on top of the social media game. So I would go back and tell Carson when he was 18, just keep focusing on it, even if it's not like the content that you were doing at the time. Just keep pushing. And I think if I had known that to like continue through college and just like keep that social media going at the pace that I was at, I think he would tell me now that like not to, which is just so funny because there's a double-edged sword. Investing in your social media like presence is so good in the fact that you can build like an amazing platform or build an amazing fan base, right? But there's a huge, huge cost to that. Yeah. That you do not think about if you are constantly producing content, because it is sometimes it feels like a zero-sum game. Like you are just pumping out content, trying to like get people to like listen to the hook of your song, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, it can just be an empty void. So I would love that if I could have just like teetered that line and figured out a path forward. I mean, I think I do okay on the content side, but like, I mean, the potential there is so high. So, I mean, I think he would tell me to be cautious, because if you're making, and especially if you're in music and you're making songs and you're trying to put out content, you don't have to like make the best thing ever and like make this beautiful production that like everyone gets 1,000 million likes and you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And it's like AI and a 3D and it's like crazy. Like Avello did with like the Squirtle. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
When the No Broke Boys remix, I mean, that was like literal beautiful 3D art. But you don't need that, you know? And that's not what like fulfills this entire scene. It isn't that. However, it can help. It really can.
If that happens, yeah.
Yeah, it can help. But, you know, even if you asked him, like, oh, is the main focus your social media presence? And the answer is definitely not. But you should always know that it's like it is a tool. But just be careful. It's like you can easily, like, overdo that. So, yeah, it's kind of like a lot of different things going into that. And forgive me for the long answer, but
no, that's exactly what we're. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Everyone answers this so differently. I would have never in a million years guessed that would be your answer. That's so cool, so wild.
Did you know he was a relationship TikToker?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Yeah, and so I mean, I got like 1.7 million followers on TikTok
Wow.
by making relationship TikToks. But I mean, our generation is just so like we live in that. I mean, how many hours a day are you guys on social media?
So I use Opal to block it because I'm on the freaking content game now.
Yeah.
So like I genuinely restrict myself.
Yeah,
because, like, I need to.
Same. I restrict
like,
that's a
half
good
an
thing.
hour, yeah.
Well, no, because like back in school, like I was doing like, you know, this is back before I was Radiate, right? So like I was doing like my DJ stuff back then. I was doing Up and Up. I was doing my fraternity page. I was doing like the EDM clubs page. So it's like I burned myself out and just didn't social media for like a year and a half. And I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah,
like,
I stopped.
I was like, dude, I can't do.
And you had a massive following to stop.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the path I was going down, but I mean, I could have pivoted, you know? And so, yeah, it's a cautionary tale to anyone like trying to produce or like make a career out of music. If you look at all these successful like DJs are producers, musicians, and influencers.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be those three to be successful nowadays, but you have to be caution yourself to not like, overindulge in that, because the fast like response to your music online, it's like a fast flame. It's like an explosion. You're like, oh,
It just goes away quick.
yeah. Even if the music's good, because like you have to, it really all comes back to that. And I will just always reiterate, it has to be the music. Like you have to focus on that.
And two things I want to add to that. One, it's also the consistency. Like it really is. Mark Ocean, like he was telling me about Ahi, telling him that Ahi just posted for 90 days straight of a reel, and like nothing. But then on after 60 days, he was like, oh, this is stupid. But on day 61, something just took the fuck off out of nowhere. Because
the mining with the
literally. Yeah, you were right there. You're right there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You never know. I mean, it's gambling. Know. It's like
it genuinely is.
It's gambling with the algorithm.
Bro, and then part two, you don't need to like. My most viewed reel over the past little bit was literally a video of me doing absolutely nothing on my roof. Yeah. I literally captioned it. I want to see the algorithm pushes this. Oh, wow. It's just me on my roof, drinking coffee in the morning, and it got the most views. I was like, bro, this is so stupid.
It doesn't feel real.
Yeah, and sometimes I can see it feels like we're just shouting into the void. But yeah, man, I can see why your younger self would say, hey, don't burn out on that. Yeah, I'm sure you felt that burnout.
Yeah, but I look back, I'm like, man, I could capitalize on that. But yeah, honestly, I think everything happens for a reason. I think that we, we as musicians or aspiring musicians, which I would say I'm an aspiring musician right now, are just trying our best to cut through all the regularity.
Yes.
Thank you. Long day. Of the music that's there, and you're just trying to be different, and that's just innate and human. And so by making all these social media things to be I'm different, look at me.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, but it's so necessary, and that's just the world we live in. So that's all my thoughts on that. I think it's an exciting time in my life. I'm really, really fortunate to be in a position where I can even possibly think that this could be a reality of life, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, speaking of promotion, we're going to end on this, right? This is your space, right? We grow when artists grow. So promote what you've got coming. This is your Instagram. This is your TikTok right here, right now. What do you've got coming in the month of June? And even if you can think that far ahead in the second half of this year.
Yeah. Thank you, first off, for giving me the space.
For sure.
And for having me. Really, really appreciate it. It's really cool to talk about this kind of stuff to a microphone. Sounds really good. So I have a new single coming out. It's called Feel It. I'm so excited about it. I've been working on it for, honestly, only a couple months. So I have heard it a lot in my head now, but it comes out June 12th. So that'll be on all platforms, which will be, I think, original number 4 or 5. 5?
5.
Nice. Congratulations.
Why do I have to look at you?
I don't know why you looked at me.
I don't know. You know.
I don't know how
you felt very confident.
Yeah. I helped you. I just said.
Yeah. So Feel It coming out June 12th. And then we have another single slated for my first label release in October. So super excited about that. And then, definitely be on the lookout for July and August as well for some music. But shows-wise, I mean, after this airs, going forth into July and then on, nothing in the pipeline yet, but that's the beautiful thing about this industry. It's always a surprise, and so just super excited and feeling grateful.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Meteoric rise, man. Honestly, the fact you've gotten where you're at in such a short time, it's fantastic. We love hearing about that for
Thank
sure.
You so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to take it home? You want to call us out, or you want me to do it?
I want you to do it.
You want me to do it?
I forgot how to do it.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys do it? Wait, can you do it together?
I don't remember how to do it. What?
We could practice it.
We can practice it right now.
That's true. What do you do?
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a pleasure to have Carson with us here in the studio today. And go check out everything. Shout yourself out to your socials real quick. What's your, how can people find you?
Yeah, good way to find me. Just Instagram, Carson Paskill. All my links and everything is there. Same with Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, all that.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put everything in the bio. And you want to just tell them how much we love them and say goodbye?
I love you guys so much. We love you guys so much. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Peace out.
Thanks,
See ya.
Zach Wezard.